Welcome back to Series B, Overseer, Game Gear, Liberty of Detroit, the Immortal Machine Lord of Detroit. We've got a lot of acceleration going right now. We've got a lot of momentum, and I don't want to let that go. We just need to keep pressing forward, need to grab as much land, as much area as possible for trading, that type of thing. Because we've got pretty much an uphill battle, I think that's fair to say. When we're surrounded on Ohio on all sides, we've got Superior to our north there. Iowa is quite large. Then, of course, the Holy Columbian Confederacy there right to the south, which are pretty threatening. Now, how many more... what do we need for our holy sites? And let's take a look here. So we've got... This one is all the way over towards New York there. We've got Ajax, which is up in Canada, I believe that is. We've got Dearborn is ours. Then there's Chicago. And then... Okay, so they're not actually that far spread out, are they? I'm going to have to keep checking these over and over, because obviously I don't know where any of these places are in real life, if they are even places in real life. But either way, it's essentially just this strip, straight across, right? From where sort of Chicago is, straight across through to the East Coast there. So why don't we start in the west and sweep east in that case, seeing as we are going to have to build up that sort of area anyway. Now, I've been told as well that there is a de jure empire of the Rust cultists, which I think would be very, very cool. I sort of mentioned before maybe we could reform the religion, turn that religious level tile into a empire level tile, but the actual empire of the Rust, or whatever the hell it's called, it's just called the Empire of the Great Lakes, but apparently we can form, if we are of that... if we're of that culture or of that religion group, we can form a unique empire, which I think would be kind of fun. Anyway, I digress. Let's actually crack on with things. So we don't have any claims. What do we have in terms of warfare then? We do have de jure claims on just this single province here in Detroit. We might as well grab that when we can, obviously. Just weaken up whoever we can as we can find it. We can push claims for other people here. We've only got one de jure claim. That sucks, because that basically means we're limited in... like I said before, I did want to kind of grab the holy sites and move across, but why don't we... fabricate a claim on Chicago and just sweep up for that. We've got 7,400 men out of a total of roughly 7,400 men. I mean, they can only reinforce a little bit more. They can get just short of 8,000. They are Catholic, which means if we go to war with them, it could cause a lot of issues. The papacy is right there as well. Check the religion map mode a second. Yeah, it's sort of Norse, Catholic, sort of a weird combination there. The other Catholic states, though, are cut off. So if we got to the stage where we could holy war, that is a possibility, but obviously we've got to get the holy sites first, so fairly irrelevant. Just in case we wanted to make, you know, the other, like, de jure territory. I'm not sure if this counts as part of the Rust Empire either or anything like that. Let's fabricate claims on Chicago. It's not too far away. We can start moving over there, because we probably want to make the de jure Kingdom of Michigan anyway. So we're going to have to start heading in that direction, and that shares a border with, Gary, apparently. Is that actually a place in America? Okay. We've got to try and grab that, and that shares a border with it anyway. So why don't we start tidying up? The kingdom is our immediate goal, let's put it that way. So I think we'll take back our de jure territory. Then, I mean, what can we go for here? We can't just go for any, like, single county conquest. Seize cities. So, as obviously a merchant republic, if we take a city, we can then take the coastal county as long as we have a city there. So we can start setting things up along those lines. So we might want to grab the city of Wallaceburg here. That would allow us to then, when this guy dies, take the actual county of Lambton. So can we take city of Wallaceburg? We can actually grab that as well. So that's another war worth thinking of. He's also, King Harold is an Afro-syncretic religion. He's turned away from Norse, but I assume all of his vassals are Norse, right? No, they've all given up on that. Interesting. That might have been our fault. We might have basically destroyed the Norse faith there. Very strange how they've all mass converted. Oh, I bet I know what it is. I bet Norse is pagan, as you can see there. And I bet the Afro-syncretic religion is reformed, and they said to those guys, hey, convert, and we'll give you some money, or convert and die. You know, the Holy Fury mechanics to get mass conversion. I bet they just agreed to it. I don't remember. I don't remember that happening in a previous episode, but that is it's fairly cool if that is the case. What about Ohio? Have we got anything down here that we could do any trouble with? Establish a tributary state would obviously be incredible to get those guys on board, because they have tributaries, and then, you know, we'd have Toronto or Ontario as a tributary of our tribute. I don't know if they're allowed to have tributes if they're a tributary. It's very... Anyway, it doesn't matter. What is Bonds of Brotherhood? If we're at war... Oh, we can ask members of our society to join us, I remember. Why don't we start things off with the classic salvage expedition, see what we can grab here. Now that we're the... Oh, that's cool. Okay, this is what I was about to mention. Now that we're the High Lord, we have options elsewhere, because this counts as all of our territory, so we can go to people who don't follow Rust Cultist, and that's apparently how we get the higher treasure. There's another thing I need to talk about that everybody's been bugging me to talk about for a couple of days, so we'll check that out in a second. It may refer to the Bloodline, which I didn't even realize, but we'll check that out in a minute. That would be my destination. So in theory, lore likely contain items of the old world since they do not have the traditions of salvage. This could be good. So obviously we'll throw everything we've got at this. Now, how much gold are we making per month? 66.68. That's cursed, but that's also an absurd amount of gold. How are we making this much money? Well, Liberty... Oh, our house is making a fair amount. Well, I don't know why, because I took out all those extra buildings that the other mod added, because a lot of people thought they were a little OP, so I stripped all those out. Detroit is making an okay amount, but it's not nuts. Which is really not at all. 81 gold per month for a city as a... Wow. Our trade routes are very good. Like, oh, we actually control Toronto and Wellington there. I didn't even notice. Yeah, our trade routes are incredible. We've got Toronto there bringing in, obviously, Detroit itself, Toledo, our previous capital. Okay, fair enough in that case. We can also build Great Wonders. Now, do we have access to Great Wonders? We do. This could be very fun. I think building a Great Harbor in Detroit would be incredible. Now, how much was that again? Because I would like to do this as soon as possible. Grand Harbor is 1,888 gold. We're making 66 gold per month. What's that, like 50 months? That would give us enough to build that up. I mean, that's just off the back. I'm not even going to attempt to try and calculate if I was right there. I'm just going to think that that was right. Unfriendly locals. You arrive in Wellington and many of the local residents are distrustful or outright hostile to you. Do we get okay? The soldiers seem to be ensuring that order is maintained. So luckily, I think that means our intrigue check failed there, and it was because we brought the soldiers along that managed to get us through this. Alright. I've noticed that all the focus of the physical activity might be dimming Mega Drive's mind. My son's being ignored many of other studies and responsibilities to better refine his combat skills, openly belittling their importance compared to the art of war. Okay. But a smart fighter is a good fighter, so because we have Genius, Quick, and Shrewd, we can tell him to not ignore his other... Oh, he can gain Dull, but gain Brawny? But he's Prodigy, so I don't know how that would work. Game 1 Martial, Game 1 Intrigue. Do we gain the Intrigue? I'm not entirely sure. No, he gained both. I don't know why I didn't say Mega Drive gained both of those. Anyway, nice. What do we get? We've uncovered several artifacts in the old world, though you've not yet found the kind of major prize. Hawk these trinkets I know of another site. Well, let's try that then. I'm wanting to go all out on this one because we're obviously in foreign territory here who aren't Rust Cultists, so we might as well test this out here. We'll demand monetary compensation just in that. The AI are generally quite nice about that type of thing. What do we find? Wasn't a major prize, yet we found something. We got Old World Shades again. Is that not our second pair? No, I believe at that stage it doesn't actually do anything, does it? No. You can't double up on artifacts. I'd like to see that system changed a little bit. Maybe you say, oh, I already possess something similar to these. I'll donate them to the tech priests or some nonsense like that. Because it's just a bit of a waste otherwise. You actually get nothing to show for it. Yeah, it's if we press this button, I think. I'm not sure. Oh, we can still donate them to tech priests. Okay, good. I was confusing that button with the last one. So yeah, last time we tried to keep something, it didn't work, as I was saying. So why don't we could sell them or we could give them to the tech priests. Seeing as we're already making a ridiculous amount of gold per month, let's give it to those guys and increase our moral authority, because that's what we're going to need to get our religion increase in there as well. 27%. I mean, we only realistically need... Oh man, it just went down a little bit then, huh? Guess we were conquested. If we do that event enough whenever we can, and we maybe only grab 3 holy sites, that could be very good. Holy sites under our control. So we have this one, but... Oh, so it's under Rust Cultist control, but not ours. So it's contributing the moral authority, but obviously not helping out our reformation there. Okay, fair enough. Let's not worry about that at all. Like I said, if we grab Chicago, we can ignore the other two because they're quite far down the East Coast, or more towards the East Coast. What's the Old Dominion? General Achilles, the Patriot of the Old Dominion. He's a Southron. He wants to become the President of the United States. So we played as the Americanist last series, and they have a full-on operating presidency where you can stand for election. They're sort of more classic why I do declare style characters. Cover my court position at once. It's kind of an interesting play style if you want more of a traditional America. They like worship the Founding Fathers and that type of thing. That was very fun. Station Master Eisenrick returned and bought with him. Oh, nice. Okay, so this event actually fired. 230 gold. I'm just going to say finding artifacts is what I'm paying for. So Tongue of an Unbeliever, I believe, gives us 1 diplomacy, doesn't it? It's 1 intrigue. Ah, nice. It's 1 spread lies into sea. Yeah, no, that I remember now. Month's prestige. The intrigue +1 is fairly nice. Not that we really need much more intrigue. We're actually nuts good at intrigue. I wonder if there's a plot. We should always be doing plots anyway. Kill Giuseppe the Gentle, the woman who taught us how to be an immortal. Doesn't seem fair. Or we can kill our family members. Or we can kill Foreman Reuben of Wellington. There are no really important plots there. I mean, killing off the other important houses, like maybe killing off House Packer here, so that their houses are split amongst everyone else, or that they're, oh, we can duel him. Let's duel him and kill him. Now to confirm with my agents. Show no mercy. What happens if we do that? We gain merciless general opinion -10, but that's only once, though, isn't it? The sabotage has little to no effect because we are just that good. Well, let's just kill him then. And work our way through the family if we can, because that means, like I said, their trade posts will be distributed amongst the Republic. That's going to make us richer and more powerful. We've got 9 out of 15 now because we've got so many family members. Guess that's all the matrilineally marrying and that type of thing. Right, plot to kill, put them in charge, kill them dead. And imagine if we kill enough. These guys are also counts, so we would get Essex back too, and we can hold that, so that'd be fairly useful. Right, we need a new steward. We'll put him on board, even though he dislikes us, or he likes us now. He's forgiven us murdering whoever the hell it was, his father or whatever. So let's build a spy network here and just keep whittling them down, I guess. Anyone else want to join the plot? Edwin does. Classic Edwin. How much gold does he want? 154. Okay, say no more. Obligate the vassal. He's willing to not join factions. T was slain by Mega Drive. Who the hell was T? Some random dude slain by personal combat by Mega Drive Liberty. Well done, Mega Drive. Smart Fighter is a good fighter. Man, this is a good event. That's insane. So he can just keep buffing himself up now. He's very good. I'm impressed. Wow, I didn't realize Genius. Is that part of the base game? Because that seems very powerful. We're not going to do that then, because you guys have said not really worth it. So one thing I did want to talk about before I forget is the Bloodline. Apparently, when we became immortal, we got the Immortal Blood of Overseer Game Gear, which just gives health +1 to all of our descendants, which is obviously very, very good, seeing as you start with a base of 5 on average. So that's giving them a few more years of life there, a little bit of disease resistance, essentially. For us, it's pointless. It doesn't do a goddamn thing besides give us monthly prestige. It's actually fairly underpowered. I mean, seeing as becoming immortal is one of the hardest things to do in CK2, like, I was looking through the files. It's a 90% chance to get Mystic is a fraud. Who means that if you go through that event, then it's a 99% chance of failure if you have a fraud mystic. So you have to pass that 10% chance, then you have to go through all the other events regularly, and they have a high chance of failure as well. To say that it's one of the hardest events to get in CK2, this isn't very impressive. I don't know whether this is added by after the end or whether it is in the base game, but 0.2 monthly prestige. I mean, I suppose the reward is, hey, guess what? You're immortal. This Thomas's Faith Triumph. Well done. Okay. I don't think it matters too much. I would love to play as the Thomases. They seem like they'd be quite a fun faction. Like, we've worshipped the old American presidents. We're worshipping the machines of the old world right now. Playing as, you know, worshipping the atom or something like that would be kind of cool too. Alright, should we invite our friend Townsend Girlarm? Of course, my good friend Townsend Girlarm. That's so good. I love these society names as well. He's the head of the society, right? He's head of the Adeptus. Oh no, I thought he was. I guess he's just, I guess Primarchs have the helmet. So we are a Marine right now. What do we need to... Oh, we need to actually wage war. The Earldom of Oshawa. Well, except his Supreme Knight... Eames of the Steel Brotherhood. Yeah. What is the Steel Brotherhood? Is that our holy order? Or maybe it will be when we reform the religion. Oh my god, okay. Well, there was me thinking I've done a rip-off series with that. With the name of this series. But no, the game's beaten me to it there. I wonder if we'll defeat Supreme Knight Paladin, whatever his name was. What was his name in Fallout 4? I can't remember. I remember Star Paladin Cross from Fallout 3, but I don't remember any of the Paladins from Fallout 4. Probably because it was garbage. What sort of weakling are you? Oh, what is this? 4 enormous black-hulled great ships from a distant land far across the sea have broken the halcyon slumber of the Pacific, arriving off the coast of La Fralesca. The foreigners speak initially of peace and amity, but soon make it clear that it's not peace they desire. The black ship disgorged thousands of demon-faced soldiers onto the docks. They rushed forth to the coast for the Undying Emperor. So we had Russia invade last episode. They landed down here, New Russia. There we go. Namasnik Vsevolod. I have no idea if I'm saying that right. So they've landed down there in Central America. Then we've got the black ships. What are those then? So they're from the Pacific. So what, like China, perhaps? I have no idea. Who knows? Anyway, enough to make us lose sleep tonight. We'll find out what that's about later on. I mean, maybe they've turned up and they're declaring war. You know what we could do? We go to the character finder. I can't imagine there are too many Emperor tier characters, but if we go sort by rank, so we've got this guy here, who is all the way down in South America, sort of the prophet. So he's the leader of California. Got it. We've got this guy who is up in Lone. Is that all he's got? Okay, fair enough. Merchant of the Northern what? The Northern... Oh, so this is like the Western Protectorate, but the equivalent of that for Brazil. Got it, cool. So we've got the Caribbean Empire. We've got Empire of Holy Columbia. Oh, it was the Japanese. Oh, it was Japanese rather than... Yeah, Nihonjin. Okay, those are... Are these the black ships that turned up? Colonization of Chiapas. Interesting. Cool. So Tuko Shueisha Gohan of Beikoku Interesting. We'll keep a close eye on that one then. And they worship, what, Shinto or something? Yeah, Shinto Pacific. Ancient religion that combines cultural rituals, animist spirit worship, and a limited number of Buddhist traditions. These must be the invaders, right? They've got, I was going to say if they got a katana. No, they've got a gun. A straight-up gun, and then a farseer, apparently. Interesting. We'll keep a close eye on those guys. We've got Russia and Japan turn up as well to add to everything else we've got going on. And I know that we can get, similarly, invasions from Europe and the Atlantic and other such, perhaps Brexited nations that can invade as well. I won't spoil too much. Right, Durant of Essex, time for you to die. We can apparently now succeed with our plot. Oh no, he's dead. Right, let's keep working this house down, and that way we're working on the monetary front. Claims going on Chicago. We all go to war soon as well. Let's plot to kill, keep them dead. Right, invite, and let's see if anybody wants to be bribed. You do, of course you do, because you're a sensible man. We have no money. Oh, no, we do have enough money. I was going to say, how much does he goddamn want? All right, there we go. Okay, so that should be enough to kill him. I'll just bribe a couple more people as well. Get it done as quickly as possible. So, now let's get to war, then. So we're part of the society. That's good. All right, so, push to your claims, then. Why not? How many troops have they got? 3,009, and their suzerain have 1,000 men. We have 6,720. Okay, yeah, we've got this in the bag, essentially. Right, let's prove that we are more than capable of running things around here now. Thank you very much, de jure claim on Detroit. Sorry, I've got a new mouse. I'm not used to my mouse scrolling yet. I've got some fancy Logitech mouse that does a pretty crazy scroll. So that's going to take a couple of episodes to get used to, so be prepared for some motion sickness there while I fuck up my scrolling for a while. All right, let's get over there. Get everybody on board. Let's merge, get Game Gear, let's get Gordon, let's get Edwin, and let's just immediately head and siege him down. So 6%. This guy is capital is there. In fact, just go for his capital, and then we can turn around and kill him later on. We want to encourage some of his troops. Maybe not that quickly. My god, this game runs fast on speed 5. I'm not used to it. Playing the Game of Thrones one on speed 5, it's only a little bit above speed 4, which even then is quite slow. This one is nuts. I do like this model a lot because it is that well optimized. I recommend this if you've got like a slightly weaker PC and a lot of CK2 mods don't really work for you. This would run very well. Just judging based on that speed 5 blasting along there. Right, let's assault these down. We'll get his war... Oh, I should have gone for the war goal first to get ticking war score. Not that it really matters too much. That's way too inside baseball when we've basically got this war in the bag anyway. 29 Marshall from Game Gear. Now, I'm not going to assault that one down. We'll just put the speed up. Like I said, speed 5 is like a rocket anyway, so we can just quickly blitz through that and get some siege events and speed it up. Detroit prospers for the first time in 700 years. Good work. Right, there we go. And let's head over here. Kill their troops very quickly. Oh, man, they've got some war score there. We might want to counter-siege that. Magnate Martin the Hunter told me he's concerned about my son, claiming that the child lacks the grit and bravery of a true member of the Adeptus. Has he not been kicking everyone's ass? Merciless duel experience times 6. Forcing my son to confront his fear is the best way to... Oh, he's a Craven, I see. 25% chance of getting the trait Craven, Brave. 60% chance of losing Craven. 15% chance he dies. He's dead. Killed by a wild beast. Whoops. I think I just got my son gored by a bear. He was so good as well. That sucks. Prodigy, calm voice, groomed, deceitful, ambitious. He was great. Man, what a shame. Who's next in line then? We need to actually assign a new successor then, don't we, in that case? That's nothing to worry about. Sure, we've got plenty lined up, and plus we can always just have more kids in the future. Not a big deal. Right, so we've got choice of Apple is pretty good. The Apple II, he's got quite high martial, shrewd, huge, intricate web weaver. Actually not too terrible. We've got no more prodigies. We're out of prodigies, huh? Guess Apple II can take control. Wife, you're 42. I might be getting rid of you. This isn't a fertility... No, it's not a fertility loss in this. Let's get rid of her. Divorce the shit out of her. She took 800 gold. What am I, Jeff Bezos? Jesus. Okay, then we want to find another prodigy wife. She's 7. We can wait. We've got all the time in the world. All right, let's arrange marriage. And Apple Liberty is in line there. She is Ross Coulter's. That was very lucky because there's going to be very, very few other ones, I think, that would be... that would be capable of marrying. He's got -5 personal combat. We're going to annihilate this poor guy. Oh, Gordon moved in and annihilated him instead. Well, that's fine. Thank you. Make a suitable sacrifice to the Omnisire. I wonder if we could become the Omnisire one day. All right, there we go. 71%. Let's move over and grab this war goal. And then all of Detroit's de jure borders are back to us at that stage, I think. I'm surprised we've only got such a little war score. I thought we'd have more than that by now. Oh, you know what? That's because we've just counter-sieged something. We haven't actually... Or was that like a trade post we just counter-sieged? Yeah, it was. Okay. Well, I was going to say because we haven't actually got any of the war goal yet. But, oh man, they're actually getting a lot of provinces, huh? We still control the capital. This must be his Nishiana. Yeah, this is their suzerain has come out. And apparently it's split. Mid-Michigan has split away from Lacustrine? I don't know what that is. Split away from these guys. Oh, weird. Maybe the war has sort of forced them separate. We're becoming friends with Tycoon Abel II of Mid-Michigan. Hey, that's a pretty good friend to have. He's also an incredibly good character. Holy shit, look at this guy. Midas touch, huge, moneylender, ambitious, zealous, diligent, humble. That's awesome. All right. Get rid of this. Townsend wouldn't want... Oh, no, my good friend Townsend Girlarm. What was he killed by? Natural death. His girly arms, that's what it was. Choked to death and just couldn't get it out. Overseer, Game Gear, and Victor become close friends. Cool. We're making more friends. That's okay. Nothing to worry about there, then. Not that we really care too much about any of this, to be honest with you. All right, let's charge this down. 65%. They've got a lot of men. We could just sit in Detroit and wait, but I think we're going to have to hire some mercenaries. A pirate. We could just wait for taking war skill, but honestly, we are going to have to sit here and wait, aren't we? Oh, shit. Okay. Mercenaries, then. What do you think? The Buckeyes of Ohio. It's 161 gold, but 21... Oh, that's good. That's a good deal. Like, they've got such a low upfront cost. Right, everybody merge together in the capital, and we'll move up and crush him in a sec, because Game Gear by himself has probably got enough going for him to stop this entire thing. Right, let's just make sure... Yeah, we got the best commanders there. All right, move up. And you are done for. This may be enough. Oh, direct leader. Holy shit. And we gain patience. What a great battle. My god. He'll make a suitable sacrifice. He'll make a suitable sacrifice. And that's the war done. Thank you very much. No? Come on, you pansy. What? Oh, because he's in the middle of a war, isn't he? What do you mean, come on, you pansy? Hang on, what? Is it because he's got... Can we not have occupied provinces? Is that why? Yes. That was exactly why. Well done. Good work, team. Come on, you pansy. Get out of here with that nonsense. What the hell? Alright, there we go. Right, Detroit is back to the way Detroit should be. Let's put a new steward in here, and let's throw in a salvage expedition. Why not? Let's have a celebratory salvage expedition. Ooh, right on cue. Something else as well. They did fire at the same time. You cast your mind back to the time you stood in your personal museum comparing mankind to rusted machinery, just waiting for someone to come along and restore it to its greatness. You dismiss your idea as madness, knowing that no man has the time or resources for such an endeavor. But things are different now. The mystic claims you to be undying, and the people, even your fellow patricians, call you their lord. As the ruler of the Republic, you have access to the forbidden archives of the Rust Cult, dedicated to protecting the most dangerous of technologies. It's still madness, you think to yourself, but I feel a lot less distracted knowing that such a thing is impossible. You call on your personal guard and begin the journey to the archives. It's probably be a waste of time. And we've also got a salvage expedition. In other news, we're going 2 different directions at once. Where will I find good salvage? Now, fingers crossed, we get to go to another place where... yes. No, wait, what? Oh, yeah, no, we need to go somewhere else. Rust Cult is culturally Rossman. Province is unacceptable. We've got Anglican, and they are culturally Deech. I don't know how you would say that. That will be my destination anyway. And we'll, of course, take everybody as soon as possible. My zeal and religious beliefs will let me become more respected, of course. Because we're going a little bit crazy. We're getting the machine madness, as we call it. Wisdom and Mercy Literature, I've been appointed as your regent. Thank you. Burn that apostate while we're gone. Oh, and we got a barony from him. Some might say that was convenient. I'd say he was definitely an apostate. Please don't argue with me. Right, repay the loan. What have we got? We've still just got the -3. Yeah, like I said before, I'm not too bothered about that one. We can invest in local and foreign economy. I should probably mark this as special interest. I mean, we should just do them whenever we can, right? That seems like a good idea. Let's go for warrior training. Yeah. What is toughness? As a member of the Adeptus, you can harness your inner strength to shrug off a physical injury. Is that in the base game? I've never noticed that before. Omnisci would be proud of you, Gelbin tells me, wiping the sweat from his brow, reminding me that our sparring match has gone on longer than planned. Cocking his head, the man concludes, you're good at this. Gain Terminator. That's cool. And very 40k as well. This character is intimidating even the most hardy of foes, especially when surrounded by soldiers in heavy armor. 30% morale damage. That's a lot, considering we've also got direct leader. My god, we're going to be insanely powerful leading the center. I hope we can get Terminator armor, or even just power armor. This is clearly a mixture of Warhammer 40k and the Brotherhood of Steel, isn't it? Which are very similar, just based on their lore, respectively. But yeah, well, that's a cool combo. We've got to get power armor from somewhere, right? Collapse. You hope that the wooden reinforcement beams would be enough, but one of them slipped. Their sentries have not been kind to crumbling concrete and rusty iron. Won't let debris stand in the way. We failed. Wow, every time that happens, we tend to fail. Well, our old wound has healed as we were at the library. Arriving at the archives, the Adeptus recognize you as the High Lord of Detroit and allow you entrance into the heavily guarded Grand Library. You begin to thumb through hundreds of books, most of which are rotten and unintelligible. Just as you're preparing to give up, one book catches your attention, The Social Network. You begin reading, and before long, hours have passed. You can scarcely believe the power the old world technology had. This bird conscience, when people were connected to it, they gave it the power to influence the rise and fall of nations. Part of you is horrified that such a thing could exist. Yet you were right. People could be controlled en masse. They volunteered themselves for it in the old world willingly. After some bargaining, you managed to convince the tech pros to part with the book on networks, wireless talk devices, and bionics. I'll study these a little. No one needs to know. You begin your study in private. Very private. Wonder where that could lead. Anyway, let's quickly dish out some land because we've got way too much crap again. We'll just give this castle away from that guy we burnt because it's a random castle in Toronto. I don't think we're really too concerned about that. We've got enough men anyway. That's the only reason for keeping a castle. Right, so let's go foreign economy and let's go for huge investment. Let's go local economy, huge investment. So between those two, we got big profit. Build cost minus 35%, tax modifier plus 35%, general opinion plus 14. Small foreign profit, build cost minus... So between those, our build cost is down significantly. What's that, 47.5% there? That's a lot. We've basically knocked half the cost off of everything. And seeing as that costs so much money in the first place, maybe now is a good time to take some loans. While we've got... While the going is good, you know? Let's crank a couple of those out. Borrow, borrow, borrow. We don't want to get our build cost modifier too high, because obviously it defeats the point of investing in the first place. But right now, what is it now? Plus 15%. So we've cancelled out the small profit. We've still got, what, 32.5% build cost reductions? So this is great. Right, so let's go to... I'm thinking we start with our house again, because the house is always the best place to go for here. Let's go for... I mean, what do we really want here? I mean, diplomacy seems like not a bad idea. So let's go for diplomacy. Ann Arbor. Oh, it's because we've got all these different provinces, huh? Anything that gives troop counts, if we've got, like... nothing here. I guess focusing on Detroit would make more sense, huh? Let's go for the militia training ground is always good. Levy size plus 7.5%, garrison size plus 10%. We could go for... We've got different types of militia ground. We've got university technology spare rate plus 30%. It's pretty huge. Or we can get a mayor's office. Let's go for the militia training ground. Let's go for that. Oh, no, wait. Wait, was it? Yeah, it was. It's at level 2 of the militia training ground. Let's go for that. Let's go to our various trade posts and upgrade those as well and just start turning as much profit as possible here. Because with those foreign investments, they are a little bit OP, aren't they? I mean that as politely as possible. They're pretty broken, actually. I might nerf those down a bit or make it so they're a little more risky so you've got a bigger chance of failure. I think it's determined by your stewardship and some other factors as well, like certain traits play into it. And that's all of our money spent in, like, one fell swoop. But, of course, we're going to make some money back pretty quickly. Let's demand personal compensation. We could have this guy oversee construction. Might be a bad idea. Or do we want him to collect taxes whilst we've got... thank you for your 50 gold. Whilst we've got this build time... Oh, sorry, build cost modifier as low as possible. Let's try and collect some tax in the hopes that he gets a tithe, because that's going to be huge right now, because it's based on your monthly income. Demand monetary compensation. This is working out very, very well as well. Very nice. We've got a great ball between us and House Kirkpatrick. Foreman Reuben of Wellington will soon be hosting a great ball in his family palace, and every petition in the Republic has been invited except for yours. Time to go on the kill list. Ready my carriage. We shall turn up unannounced. They would never say no to us. We're the Lord. We are immortal. We're a Terminator. What's he going to do? Kick us out? Oh, he kicked us out. He gains 100 prestige. We lose 100 prestige. This will start a great vendetta between your two families. Overseer Game Gear, someone calls out. Foreman Reuben emerges from the crowd with a smile on his face. How kind of you to join us, may I see your invitation? As you struggle for words, guards surround you and your party. No invitation? That's a shame. With a small wave from Reuben, the guards drag you outside and throw you down the stairs to the entrance. I can't believe they could do that against their liege, of all things. I mean, I suppose they are just... Oh. Ah. Yeah. Ports of the Pacific. Oh, that's what they meant by demon face, because they were in Kabuto or something like that. You know, the samurai helmets. They have been open for foreign trade by the demon-faced samurai. The black ships come and go freely from the new established outposts. Those who resist submission to the immortal emperor are put to the sword. Well, there we go. We've got Russia there and Baikoku there as well. This day will live in infamy. We've got a Japanese Imperial Republic. Very weird. That's cool, though. Man, that's very interesting how sort of turbulent Central America is going to be. I can't imagine New Russia is going to do a huge amount, because obviously they're quite separated from Russia, funnily enough. I don't know why they'd land there of all places rather than, like, you know, Alaska or sort of that west coast, west coast, sorry, I was right. They've only got 7,000 men. What about Japan? What have they got? 2,000 men. But they are a merchant republic, so things are going to go very different for those guys. Very weird. It does say there as well. Government of the Japanese and Russian colonies in the merchant... Oh, interesting. Maybe if I'd have read that more thoroughly before, I'd have realized that Japan were going to turn up. I think expansion is definitely going to be quite slow, even though we're in a great position for it, just because we don't have any Casus Belli against anybody. We should be grabbing cities whenever we can against people who we aren't at truce with, just as much as possible. So going to, like, mid-Michigan, for example, I think we're close friends with him. It doesn't matter too much, just we could border dispute him. What do we lose 100 prestige, is that it, really? Oh, because of our religious group, yeah, we declare unjust war. I mean, it might be necessary, you know? What's the chance of people assassinating us when we've got like 22, 30, oh my god, 30 marshal. I was reading our stewardship then for a second. I think it might be a good idea, you know, challenge into a duel for insulting him or whatever, or he'll challenge us. Alright, let's carry on with our building then. What have we still got? Have we still got them? Yeah, we still got our reductions there. One up boom as much as possible, and then next episode, I think we'll go heavy war. I think we need to go heavy war. We've had enough time to prepare. Now it's time to actually get some action going here. I think we can afford to oversee construction and get things built as quickly as possible while we've got... It might actually save us more money overseeing construction rather than collecting tax, if that makes sense, because even though collecting tax has a chance to give us more money, which is, you know, basically in line with saving money, it will also reduce the chance it takes to build, and that might allow us to build more things for cheaper, if that makes sense. Alright, what else do we want in Detroit then? Should we just start building up the infrastructure so that we can upgrade the actual core city and get more buildings as a result? I think I should be educating my children, but who really cares at this stage? Maybe that's part of the price for being immortal, that you should just really focus on only the character we've got. We're moving up to veteran as well. And we're going to blow up a guy. Excellent. It is my privilege. Thank you, Mr. Wolf. We are now veteran. Can we even become Primarch? Yes, we can. So with certain societies, the Devil Worshippers is the one off the top of my head. With certain societies, you're not actually allowed to get to the highest rank if somebody already exists at the highest rank, or if there are already so many characters of that highest rank, but we can become Primarch just freely, as long as we've been a veteran for 5 years. We have to have a duel, don't we, or something like that, with whoever is in charge. Maybe they fall a rank as well? I've no idea. Oh god, we failed. What was I thinking with your... Well, let's make a bunch of enemies, just to throw a little more challenging things. Was that 1,000 gold? Did I just spend 1,000 gold on... Huh. Okay. That's right. Martial, diplomacy, intrigue. Oh, God. Let's go for martial then, seeing as, like I said, we're going to go for warfare next time. We'll leave this one here for today. We've had some pretty interesting developments, I think. You know, obviously becoming the High Lord and building the realm up, taking back our de jure territories, that type of thing. We've had some nice salvage expeditions. We know that we can get that improved chance of salvage. We've got the other networking-based stuff to worry about as well, our private research that we won't tell anyone. Don't tell anyone. Don't leave a comment. Okay, talking about the network needs to be secret. Keep it secret, keep it safe. Let's move on to thanking the patrons for making this series possible in the first place. A big thank you to Justin Wallace, Harik, Alpha Scuff, Asuna Kirito, Atmosis, Average Gamer 419, Baniel, Sudini, Conspire T, Crazy Pat, Crosis, Escape, Facunda Vasquez, Haydog, Jimbo, Jocelyn Dean Tesla, Michael Mullen, Necrophilim, Powers Presley, Sean Thornton, Smirtworm, Tom Terror 18, Backus, Wolfsent, and Zazzy7011 for the support and the insanity levels on Patreon. Thank you for making all of this possible in the first place. And I hope you guys are enjoying me getting American geography wrong every 5 seconds. That's always quite fun, isn't it? And thank you as well to Gray, Nathaniel Lindbergh, Llewellyn and Thomas, Asro, Betimus Max, Chris, David Van Diepen, Don, Duncon217, Gabriel Van Ders, Gaz, Genji Zerka, Haji Damar, Hancock, Harry McGowan, Icy the Great, Jay Lara, James Barnes, Johan DeVries, John Holiday, Jordan Campbell, Joseph Beard, Justin Plock, Nathan Flores, Matthew, Nick, Panther Pearl, People for the Ethical Treatment of Animals, Seth All the Swede, Shari, Wolfie, Zico, Adam Person, Sidini, Fraser Brennan, Noah Gallimore, and the Insane Pickle. Thank you all for your support.